Alright, so a little bit about myself. The Nintendo Switch is far and away my favorite gaming system. Not just because of its large library of excellent games, but also mainly because of its hyper-portable nature. In fact, I'd say about 90% of the time I'm actually playing the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode. I really don't play docked a whole lot. And with all my time playing on the Switch, while I do appreciate the Joy-Con for what it is, I could use something a little bit better. And that's where this guy comes in. This is the NYXI Wireless Joy Pad. It's a third-party Pro-styled Joy-Con alternative, similar to that of the Hori Split pad. But unlike the Hori Split pad, this has a lot more going for it. Out of the box, you get the controller itself, some documentation, a USB-C cable, as well as an attachment piece to use the Joy Pad like a regular controller. The Joy Pad comes in 3 color options: black, white, and this cool translucent option, which is what was sent to us for review. Admittedly, I was hoping that we would receive one of the white options for the joypad, just because I have a Nintendo Switch OLED, and I thought that would match really well with the dock, but you know what? This clear option actually looks pretty nice as well. It's got that exposed electronic look of the 90s, but the circuit board, along with a lot of the other internals, are all black and white, giving it a very classy look. The only real downside I'd say to getting the translucent option is that the whole shell itself is pretty smooth, whereas the black and white variants have a sort of textured backing for a little bit better grip. So if you're someone who really values grip on a controller, or if you have the tendency to get really sweaty hands, then you might want to consider getting those options instead. Overall, using the NYXI in handheld mode is pretty great. It's lightweight and so much more ergonomic when compared to the traditional Joy-Con. And the D-pad, while not the best D-pad I've ever used, is large and it does its job just fine. Aside from the ergonomics, it's the thumbsticks that I actually think are one of the bigger selling points of this controller. Simply put, they feel great to use, and they make games, especially shooters, feel a lot better to play. They might not feel as high quality as something like the Pro Controller sticks, but they're good enough quality, and I'd rather use something like this over the Joy-Con any day. And unlike the Hori Split pad, you can actually use these individually in each hand, or link them together with the included attachment and play in docked mode just like you would with regular Joy-Con. The battery life on this thing is actually pretty good as well. You get around 7 to 8 hours per charge for each controller, which you can individually charge using the USB-C port on the bottom of each controller. But if you're primarily using this in handheld mode, you won't have to worry about charging too much because these charge just like regular Joy-Con do when attached to the Switch. Aside from being a standard controller, the NYXI Joy Pad has a few extra features that are really nice to have. You have turbo functionality, adjustable levels of vibration, programmable macro buttons on the back that aren't too easy to accidentally press. You have full motion control support, which feels pretty good. And of course, the controller has RGB. The RGB on this controller has 8 color modes that you can cycle through, and can either be set to a static or breathing mode. If you find the colors to be too bright for your liking, you can adjust the brightness of the lights or turn them off entirely if you wish. Now, I've logged in many hours of gameplay with these controllers, and I gotta be honest, I don't really see myself using the Pro Controller much after this. While the official Pro Controller admittedly feels more premium in comparison to the NYXI Joy Pad, the Joy Pad is ergonomic enough, it's cheaper, and has all of the features that a Pro Controller has, minus the NFC reader. It's just nice to have an all-in-one solution for both docked and handheld mode. The only real downside I can think with the NYXI is that it is meant for bigger hands, I think. I wouldn't really recommend buying something like this if you're, buying it for a small child. This definitely it seems to be more geared towards the older child or the young adult audience. But yeah, other than that, you do limit your options on what you can get for a travel case if you wanted to take this on the go with you. Fortunately for me, I have the bulky Satisfy grip case already, and that holds this just fine. But if you are in need of other options, NYXI also sells cases for these controllers as well. And that about does it for this one, everyone. Thank you, as always, for watching the video and checking out the channel. If you want to check the controller out for yourself, I'll be sure to leave a link in the description down below, and be sure to use coupon code CYNICS at checkout to save 10% on your order. If you have any questions about this product that I neglected to talk about in the video, please be sure to let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer as many questions as I can. And yeah, that's enough rambling out of me. Thank you again so much for watching. My name is Blake, and for all things tech, games, movies, to anything nerdy in between, be sure and subscribe to Digital Cynics. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next time.